heaven's sake. Lead l'shem shamayim, v'yeda ki yesh navi b'Yisrael. Let the world know there is a new and reinvigorated and energetic and authentic rabbinate, that there are still prophets in Israel. There is hardly a greater Kiddush Hashem than the awakening awareness that Rabbonis is alive and well and that Torah thrives in Israel. We modern Orthodox Jews want to hold our heads high. We've got to have a Torah-educated laity, and it's not going to happen on 1.5 hour a week. The study of Torah is obligatory for every individual and for every community, and without it, no one has the right to that honorific title, Orthodox. We are now developing, have now developed, something quite revolutionary in Jewish life. We provide for Jewish women at Stern College, our undergraduate women's college, major in Talmud. And some of our students now, we have a special department of postgraduate full-time Talmud study for women, a 2-year program. They receive the same stipends that the men do in the kollel. And they're fabulous. Quite a number of such young women who are absolutely first-rate. We are not merely a college with the added convenience of a few Judaic courses and Jewish dormitory ambience. This is not Torah Umada. Chas v'sholom that Torah should be regarded merely as an added convenience. Ki heim chayenu va'orech yameinu. And that is why v'hagisa bo yomam v'layla. And I regret that I must add one more caveat. Never, never should anyone misconstrue any version of Torah Umada as a dispensation for zilzul b'mitzvos. The idea that Torah Umada means less observance or less piety or less concern with mitzvahs is false, it's outrageous, it's even blasphemous. Friends, we are bold enough and self-assured enough to say that Torah Umada means understanding the relationships and the tension and the creative synthesis of Torah and Mada on the highest levels of Mada. Not just Torah uparnosa. It's not just a matter of making a living, although that's very good. We know there are risks, but there are risks in everything. There is no life without risks. When the Rav Zatzal was sent by his parents to the University of Berlin to study, they did not send him there to study a trade. He did not major and write his work on marketing or on accounting, or on law, or medicine. He went to study philosophy, the highest forms that culture had attained in his day. The broader my intellectual horizons, the higher is my spiritual reach, and the deeper is my religious commitment. Grasping a differential equation, or a concept in quantum mechanics, can let us perceive and reveal Elokus in the abstract governance of the universe. An insight into molecular biology or depth psychology or the dynamics of society can inspire us with a fascination with God's creation, a fascination which the Rambam identifies as Avas Hashem. A new appreciation of a Beethoven symphony or a Cézanne painting or the poetry of a Milton can move us to greater sensitivity to the infinite possibilities of the creative imagination with which the Creator endowed his Tzelem Elokim. Sometimes when I'm in a moment of self-doubt or hesitation, I indulge in this short exercise of imagination. If the Rambam were alive today, where would he teach, if not here? Indeed, who else would invite him to teach without worrying that the author of the Mishnah Torah is too frum, or that the author of the Moreh Nevuchim is suspect in this frumkeit? We know that we are no less Torah for Mada, and no less Mada for Torah. We are no less human for our devotion to Torah. We are no less Jewish for our commitment to understanding the Chochmos Olam. That is what we are all about. Be proud of it, encourage it, publicize it, love it. Olo nale ki yachol nuchala. 53% of American Jewry is marrying out. You know, since that data came out, 53% has become a numbing number. You hear it so often that after a while you begin to accept it as a fact of life, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that would be tragic. These are our brothers and sisters and our cousins, the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of Gutte Eden, of our grandparents, who are being lost to us forever. Nothing but a meaningful return to Amunah in one God can guarantee our posterity. There will be neither Jewish identity nor Jewish continuity without Judaism, without Torah, without the Ribono Shel Olam. Sounds simple enough, elementary enough. It's going to be a hard sell. Only a return to genuine religion will ensure our continuity, and by religion I mean nothing but Judaism, and by Judaism I mean Torah, and by Torah I mean that halacha is accepted not as a guide, but as authority. Now that Gibor Chayil Mitzorah is a symbol and picture of modern society, expressive of a painful paradox of Western civilization, technologically powerful but ethically leprous, scientifically progressive but spiritually regressive, materially mighty but morally a midget. From the distance, when you behold this Gibor Chayil, this giant who symbolizes modern society, you think he is self-confident, assertive, optimistic, problem-solving. Or draw closer to him and you see what he really is. A Mitzorah, a leper, corrupt, frightened, in despair and disrepair, uncertain, perplexed, rotting and withering away inside. We Jews have often erred and misled others by offering to the world the king instead of the prophet as the source of Jewish healing. We have told ourselves that the ancient vision of salvation from Israel will come through a Jewish government or through Jewish nationhood, through Jewish scientists or through Jewish Nobel Prize winners, through Jewish wealth or Jewish writers or Jewish intellectuals. Not so. Those who are symbolized by Melech Yisrael, the King of Israel, can help. In fact, they are indispensable. Without Mada, without the secular world, without nationhood, without a material framework, without the profane, the prophet cannot flourish. But the main task of healing the Naamans of the world of their spiritual ills and resolving their inner contradictions, of banishing the leprosy of heart and soul, can come only through prophecy and Torah. Ve'yedah ki yesh navi b'Yisrael. Never give up on any Jew, no matter how difficult it may be. Risk everything, in order to lead to such a vast change in the communal mood as to make the commitment to Torah and to the great ideals of Judaism the most logical and rational choice for Klal Yisrael. Your loyalty to Medinat Yisrael, no matter whether you settle there or not, no matter what criticisms you may have, is unconditional. Criticize it if you will, but love it, support it, and every musbach of yeshiva and every graduate of our undergraduate schools should, and I know does, at least consider Aliyah as an option.
Learn not only to speak, and that's important, and to speak out, that's even more important, but most important, learn to listen. Remember that as King David put it, Oz nidberu yiraya Hashem vayakshev Hashem vayishma. Then the Yirei Hashem, truly religious personalities, spoke with each other, and God listened and he heard. Tell me, why is Hashem so attentive to us? Because David writes, not Oz dibru Yirei Hashem ishorayehu. Not that they spoke one to another, but Oz nidberu. They allowed themselves to be spoken to. They listened to each other. They were not only interested in declaiming their own opinions, they were not only interested in speaking out, they also learned to listen to the heart and the soul and the mind of another Yerei Shemayim without necessarily disqualifying him as the Yerei Shemayim. The statement that Talmidei Chachamim increase peace in the world is not descriptive or agadic. It is normative. That is the way it has to be. It is halachically required of a Talmid Chacham to increase peace in the world. It is a preeminent halacha and one which we should reiterate daily. Bear this in mind in your careers, all during your careers. Rabbis should be initiators of peace, never instigators of strife. Talmidei Chachamim should teach by example that mutual insults and disrespect and belittlement should not necessarily accompany every difference of opinion. The chilukei deot should not necessarily lead to machloket. This is not etiquette or decorum. This is halacha. And yet I tell you, with open heart, that the greatness of our yeshiva, our greatness is that we kept to our derech with strength and with courage, that we conducted ourselves with individual and institutional dignity, that we refused to reciprocate petty insults and trade invectives, but continued to relate to others according to the principles of Kvod HaBriyot and Kvod HaTorah. This will continue to be our policy, one from which we will not be deterred, neither by flattery nor by threats. A few years ago, the rabbi of a significant congregation in this city was beset by a serious problem. He was being attacked viciously for a certain ruling that he made. He made it in good faith, and he was being pressured and buffeted. But the mitzvah given, he had trouble. He is not a musmach of our yeshiva. He had never met our mentor, whom we miss so terribly today, Moreinu v'Rabbeinu Rav Soloveitchik Shalita. And so he asked me to introduce him to our revered mentor. Perhaps he could get some chizuk, some encouragement from him. I did so. It was Parshas Vayetze. I wasn't present, but he told me about it later. The Rav heard him, thought silently for a few minutes, and only said a few words to him, and that was enough. He said to him the following: our Sedra ends with the words, V'Yaakov halach ledarko, vayifga'u bo malachei Elokim. Jacob went on his way, and he was met by the angels of God. That, said the Rav, is my advice to you. Go on your own derech, your own way, without looking right or left, and if you do so with sincerity and with truth and honor, with the conviction that this is what Torah demands of you at this time and in this place, you will be met by Malachei Elokim. And that wisdom is worth sharing with you, our newest Besnachim. If you are to be leaders, if your goal is the honorable one of Vayifku b'Malachei Elokim, I tell you, don't be overly concerned with what others say or press you to say. Don't pander to the left and don't cower before the right. In Torah, there is neither left nor right. If your way is al pi haTorah asher yorucha, then what follows is lo sasur mimashi yagidu lacha yamin usmol. There is only one way, straight ahead. And only with such firmness of method
wedded to sacredness of purpose and going with what you believe honestly is derech ha'emes, will the world know ki yesh navi b'Yisrael. A very, very old man, bent over, appeared in the Brisky Yeshiva, sat down at the Beis Medrash after he took out a Gemara, and began to learn by himself. Whereupon Reb David Soloveitchik, the son of Reb Velvet Soloveitchik, came over to him and greeted him. The old man said, "Das is the Chevron Yeshiva? It's the Yeshiva of Chevron?" And David said, "Nein, this is the Brisky Yeshiva, the Yeshiva of Brisk." The old man looked up in disbelief, opened his eyes, and he said, "Reb Chaim lebt noch? Is Reb Chaim still alive?" It transpired that the old man had studied in Brisk when Reb Chaim was still alive and left in 1913. Caught up in the Russian Communist Revolution, he was then exiled to a remote area of Georgia, completely cut off from contact with Jews. He had a few Gemaras that he managed to take along, and he learned for 75 years. Didn't see not only another Litvak, he didn't see another Jew. Saw nobody. Learned by himself. And now with the great Geula that came to Soviet Jewry, he came to Yerushalayim, and we heard that it was the Brisky Yeshiva. He said, "Reb Chaim lebt noch?" And indeed, Reb Chaim lebt noch, and will always live as long as there be Talmud Torah. And we are here to say, we the Talmidim of the grandson of Reb Chaim, that Reb Yoshe Ber Soloveitchik lebt noch. He still lives and always will live in our midst. The mantle is now given to you as dawn breaks on the new century for our beloved yeshiva. You are not only our alumni, you are our pride and our joy, our emissaries to the Jewish community. Wear that mantle, the mantle of the prophet who wanted all the world to know ki yesh navi b'Yisrael. Wear it with distinction, with resolve, and with hope. And may the Rabboni Shalom grant you and your families the years, the health, the strength, someday to pass it on to a new generation, and another one after that, ad bias hagoel b'mehera v'yameinu, amen.